Good afternoon. My name is Rich Vandenberg. I'm currently in mortgage finance for 21 years. I've provided home loans to Riversiders. I'm in Orange Crest, and I'm running for City Council to represent Ward 4. I serve on the Budget Engagement Commission. I'm the vice chair of that now, and I've been there for about 3 years, I believe. I do not support the extension or the increase to Measure Z. I do support our fire department. I've heard Chief McKinster's report twice, and I fully support everything he's asking for. Our city needs the additional firefighters, fire stations, everything he's asking for, I agree with. However, before we ask taxpayers to fork out more dollars, and before we make this permanent, I would like to do a deep dive into the current budget. It was expected to generate $48 million annually. That number is about $84 million now. The priorities listed on the ballot statement included fire, police, infrastructure, roads. A lot of the priorities there that we all voted for and thought we were paying for, and while money has gone to that, we've also spent money on many other general services. And so what I've asked for at the next Budget Engagement Commission meeting was a list of the top 10 other general services we funded through Measure Z. And that may very well change my mind. I do want to see the fire department get the funds they need. However, I would be more supportive of a special tax that went directly to the fire department. When it becomes part of the general tax, it gets absorbed into other things, and I don't think there's much of an appetite for that right now. In terms of making it permanent, I like the current sunset date on this. It's going to sunset in about 10 years, and then we can come back to the taxpayers and say, have we used this money wisely? Did we earn the right to keep this tax and continue funding things we funded through Measure Z? When you make it permanent, we kind of lose that accountability there. So those are my reasons. I lived all over the city, but I spent a good majority of my childhood downtown. I lived on Orange Street. My mom used to walk us up to the library when we were kids. This is when the Mission Inn was chain link fenced and shut down. What the city has done is fantastic. My wife and I bought a house on 11th and Pine in 1999, 2000, and lived there for about 2 years. We never came downtown for anything. It was not a good place to be. It wasn't safe. There was nothing to do. And so we avoided it altogether. And now you come here and it's alive. It's vibrant. You see families, kids, strollers. We love coming downtown. This is my birthday destination when I want to get out. And so I love what the city's done so far. I think the businesses are thriving. There are still challenges, but I see those challenges as opportunities, not as deterrents. I love the 3 projects you mentioned coming up. I'm a big fan of all of them. I'd love to see the soccer stadium, the adventure park, Riverside Live. I'm a proponent of all those things. I would like to see more happen in Ward 4. We have not much happening there. We haven't seen anything in a very long time. We have car washes and warehouses. We don't have restaurants. We don't have coffee shops, bagel shops. I would love to see more development in Ward 4. I have nothing specific in mind. I plan on learning what's available and the opportunities there and talking to folks who live there to get their input, but I certainly would love to see more development in Ward 4, yes. Sure. Well, my plan is to prioritize those things, right? What we prioritize is what gets done. You talked about Measure Z when we started this thing. Measure Z was intended to fund infrastructure and roads, and very few dollars have gone to that. This last year, we improved about 51 miles of roads. Moreno Valley did 3 times that. Corona did twice that. When you make it your priority, it gets done. I would make the roads a priority. I've knocked on roughly 9,000 doors since January, and that is the number 1 or 2 concern I get. Outside of warehouses, people want to know why the roads are in terrible shape. We pay some of the highest taxes in the entire state, and we have some of the worst roads. I would make those a priority. That's what the residents want. That's what we need. Planning ahead for the repairs that need to be done. It's kind of an ounce of prevention type of thing. When you don't take care of the roads you have, you end up with more costly repairs down the road. I would do more prevention work on our roads, and certainly just prioritizing that. Sure. Well, that concern and the interest, I think, stems from the vote on the university project where we rejected $20 million from the state. It's kind of brought that to light. I would have supported that project. We had a mandate from the state to develop, I think it was 17,000, don't quote me exactly, low and moderate income housing. We've met somewhere around 5% of that goal with 4 years left to do it. I spoke with the seniors at our low income facility on Adams Street. They are month to month. They are concerned about where they're going to live. Many of them are there that lost a spouse. When you lose a spouse, you lose half your Social Security income. The expenses aren't going down, the expenses are getting more. Even at that one facility on Adams, rent goes up $100 every year. We need more affordable housing. From low to moderate income, we need more. We have families in Riverside. The median price here is $650,000 right now. We have young families who can't afford to live here and stay here. They grew up here, they wanted to stay here, they can't afford it. We need more moderate and low income housing here. I would support the development of it, attracting developers, streamlining the process, whatever I could do to encourage that to happen in Riverside. So I share those concerns. I've heard several reports over the last several years on this, and I would have voted for that to be underground. I've heard the pros and cons, and to be honest, the only strong case I've heard to be made for above ground is the price. I think that the risk outweighs the reward there for the cost, and I think this is something we're going to look at down the road and say we should have went underground, because I think eventually it's going to end up underground anyway, and the money we're investing today for above ground could all be for nothing if we end up reinvesting to go underground. So I would have voted for below ground. I think for all kinds of reasons you mentioned, for environmental reasons, for fire risk reasons, this should have been underground. So Riversiders are frustrated, particularly in Ward 4, and they get frustrated not because things aren't going their way, but because they feel like they don't have a voice. And when they do get to speak, it's not heard. They don't feel like they're getting accurate representation, that their voices and their wishes are not being done. I'm not running because I think I am the smartest person to run in Ward 4. I'm not running because I think I have all the answers for the problems in Ward 4. But I listen well, and I learn fast. I have a life of experience in this city, and have experienced all different levels of poverty and prosperity, starting a business, failing at a business, owning a home, struggling to buy a home, struggling to keep utilities on, and I can speak to all things with experience. So I would take input from the community, take my lived experience and apply those things, and really I want to be a true representation of Ward 4.